سو میرا جو اگلا سوال تھا دیٹ واز بیسکلی اراؤنڈ کہ جو ٹریڈیشنلی مارجنلائزڈ گروپس ہوتے ہیں اس میں بچیاں ہوتی ہیں, ٹرانسجینڈر بچیاں ہیں, اس میں چلڈرن ہو آر لیونگ ود سم اور اینی فارم آف ڈسیبلٹی وہ ہیں. سو جہاں پہ آپ نے بات کی کنڈیشنل کیش ٹرانسفرس کی, واؤچر اسکیمس کی, آئی تھنک وہ لڑکیوں کے لیے تو بہت حد تک ریلیونٹ ہے, اینڈ ان اے وے ایون بفور دا ایمرجنسی ویو سین کہ اٹ واز ریپنگ دیز کنڈیشنل کیش ٹرانسفرز جو اسپیسیفکلی بچیوں کو اسکولوں میں لانے کے لیے دی جا رہی تھیں, دے ور شوئنگ انکریجنگ ریزلٹس, رائٹ. لیکن جہاں تک ٹرانسجینڈر اسٹوڈنٹس کا سوال ہے یا دوز چلڈرن ہو آر لیونگ ود ڈسیبلٹیز, اینڈ رائٹ ناؤ وی ڈونٹ ایون ہیو ڈیٹا, اور خدا نخواستہ ہاؤ مینی چلڈرن مسٹ ہیو probably incurred disabilities because of the floods, right? ان کے لیے کیا کریں؟
So, this is a question that came to our mind. We did a quick phone survey of a couple of thousand families in Sindh and Balochistan. And usme se, they about, I think, 20% of the respondents said that the children would not come back to school. And that primarily, included children with disabilities, girls in particular. Or, unfortunately, given the culture that we're in, it's a rare thing to even talk about transgenders, which really needs to become mainstream and really needs to become the norm. For girls in particular, like you said, there are some simple solutions that address supply side constraints, such as arranging transportation that is reliable, providing cash transfers, etc., making sure that schools have functional toilets, in particular, female teachers, boundary walls, etc. These are tried and tested approaches. But something that we saw in Punjab is that jo Punjab Education Foundation se schools hain, they tend to have more girls come in, because I think of the fact that quality is associated with the private sector, whether that is a reality or not. So, until you improve quality of schools, you may be able to bring children to school, but will they stay in school, right? Because if parents don't see the relevance for girls in particular, right? Agar wo na dekhen ki education is meaningful, education is relevant, and the girls are leaving school with a set of skills that they can use to improve their lives, So we keep on saying that equity is also a quality issue, and quality is also an equity issue. We can't have those conversations independently of each other. So I think, along with we've tried some unique approaches for girls as well. For instance, I think it's really important that especially when girls drop out because of demand side constraints, there should be a second opportunity for them to return to school. Humne KP mein UNICEF is running something called the Accelerated Learning Pathways project, where children, who either never enrolled in middle primary school or, left primary, didn't attend middle on time, they give these children a second opportunity. And the classrooms are full. I've visited quite a few of those schools. So parents, they see quality associated with UNICEF ka brand hai ya kya hai, ya maybe, because of UNICEF, the teaching and learning resources are, compelling, and, they're associated with quality. Girls are coming, and girls are traveling long distances to come every day. They come in a group. So you have to kind of create that relevance. And, while humne kafi, through the government and alternate development partners as well, we have made attendance a requirement for, very, very obvious reasons. Ke, agar aapko stipend milna hai, promotion is a condition, attendance is a condition. But maybe, in certain situations, we may have to think creatively that if a child is not coming to school regularly, and unki attendance ki wajah se, they're becoming conscious, they may drop out altogether, right? So in certain situations, you can't have a blanket approach that to get a stipend, you need to have 80% attendance, right? Again, these localized needs-based solutions are really important. Have those blanket approaches, but also give room for adapting to unique circumstances. For example, میں ان کا پھر سے example دیتی ہوں کہ چولستان میں جو ان کے schools ہیں, because that's a migrant community, they actually move with the migrant community, right? So sorry?
Lovely.
Yeah. And to get into children with disabilities, again, we piloted a project in Punjab a long time back, اور اس میں ہم نے یہ دیکھا کہ it was called to enroll children with mild disabilities in public schools and in low fee private schools. Low fee private schools में आपने थोड़ा सा financial incentive दे दिया कि उनको grant दे दी to upgrade the infrastructure, wheelchair ramps, disability friendly toilets, etc., classrooms, and we gave a top up of a voucher to the entrepreneur. So because there was a commercial incentive, and the similar situation in public schools, we saw that children dropped out because it's not just sensitizing students and creating that physical environment, it's also about training teachers to make sure that, you know, your children, whether they're with disabilities or whether they're if there's diversity in the student body, that it is not seen as those children are not seen as outliers or outsiders. So mindset shift mein bahut badi and this is something that induction programs for teachers, in continuous professional development, in our textbooks as well, we need to make sure our textbooks are also inclusive. And when we talk about minorities, we talk about children from, you know, minority religions, etc. as well. And then just I know this is a long answer, but just one really quick thing is कि जब हम data collection की बात करते हैं, you know, you have to start collecting data on the unique disabilities. A girl with a disability will have a very different set of than a boy with a disability, right? Severe disabilities, moderate disabilities, mild disabilities, and then make sure that you know, आपके जो school censuses होते हैं, आपकी infrastructure पे data collect होता है, आपके student bodies पे data collect होता है. You know, we have some new instruments like the TEACH instruments, Washington standard questionnaires, you know, Washington group questionnaires. Those need to become mainstream, and then that data needs to be used to inform budgets, to be informed. There's no point in collecting data if we don't use it. So, you know, these are some starting points that, you know, come to mind when it comes to mainstreaming children with diverse needs.
Thank you. मेरा जो आपसे आखिरी सवाल है वो इस हवाले से है कि देखिए, हम अभी तक तो जितनी भी गुफ्तगू कर रहे थे वो हंगामी हालात, सैलाब, उसके गिर्द महवर था हमारी गुफ्तगू का. लेकिन अगर हम बियॉन्ड हंगामी हालात बात करें, बियॉन्ड द फ्लड्स बात करें, तो पाकिस्तानी एजुकेशन सिस्टम के अंदर, मैं शुरू में भी ये कह रही थी कि एक परपेचुअल स्टेट ऑफ इमरजेंसी हमें नज़र आती है. कहने का मकसद ये है कि हम एक्सेस ही के मसाइल से बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे कि किसी तरह रसाई तो मिल जाए बच्चों को और बच्चियों को तालीम तक, कि हम क्वालिटी पे भी बात करें. क्वालिटी पे बात करने की नौबत ही नहीं आती है, और क्योंकि क्वालिटी पे बात करने की नौबत नहीं आ रही, तो जो बच्चियाँ और बच्चे इस वक्त स्कूलों में हैं भी, तो क्या वो उस तरह की तालीम हासिल कर रहे हैं कि आज से 10-12 साल के बाद जब वो ग्रेजुएट करते हैं और वो जॉब मार्केट में निकलते हैं इन अ ग्लोबल इकॉनमी जो बहुत इंटरलिंक्ड है, तो वो अपने ग्लोबल पीयर्स, दुनिया के बाकी अपने हम उम्र जो होंगे, प्रोफेशनल्स होंगे, क्या वो उनका मुकाबला कर पाएंगे? आर वी एक्चुअली हैव वी बीन एबल टू प्रोवाइड देम विद अ लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड, एंड इफ नॉट, what needs to be done?
This is I think something that keeps us all up at night. And you know, something that I constantly say is that, you know, what is the fault of these parents who invest in their children's education? You know, who actually, whatever the opportunity cost of sending the children to school is, they give that up. Their children go to school for 16 years, or you know, जितना भी वो करते हैं, लेकिन वो graduate करके what do they know? You know, they will get a job, the same job as a semi-educated person would be, whether you've not been to school, whether you graduated from the 5th grade or you graduated from the 10th grade. There may not be much of a difference, but you know, because the opportunities available to you will not be the same as those children who graduate from elite private school or, you know, middle tier private schools, right? And I think one of the reasons is that हमारा जो स्कूल सिस्टम है उसमें इतनी रिकॉल बेस्ड लर्निंग पे फोकस होती है कि देयर इज नो, you know, teachers don't know how to teach for application, understanding and application of content, right? And that's what grows the mind. Second, you know, we tend to undermine childhood development, right? You know, we know that the brain from, you know, prenatal to 5 years grows at a much faster rate than they will ever, you know. So when you enroll a child at 5 years of age, the child has actually missed the opportunity when their brain was a sponge, and when they were actually, you could lay the foundation for, you know, stronger learning. They say your kindergarten teacher is probably the most important teacher you will have, but look at who we employ as our kindergarten teachers. अगर हम वो कच्ची में बच्चे आते भी हैं, तो we really need to focus resources on setting a very solid foundation, foundational reading, number one, and foundational numeracy. Hamara curriculum itna crowded hai, we focus on so much that children are not, instead of mastering the core skills they need, they're actually, unsatisfactory at a larger number of, student learning outcomes. So apart from that, also, creating that, aapki stunting ki percentage dekh lein, right? Almost half our children are approximately 40% of our children are stunted. World Bank is publishing a human capital report fairly soon, and that shows that the human capital index for Pakistan is 0.1%, right? So will only reach 41% of their human capital potential. And if you look at Sindh or if you look at Balochistan, if I'm not mistaken, for Balochistan, it's only 32% of the human capital potential. In Sindh, it's only 36%. So we have to focus on, what is really essential. ہم سائنس میں, ہسٹری میں, سوشل اسٹڈیز میں, جنرل نالج میں ہم اتنا پڑھاتے ہیں. Really drill down on the bare essentials, teach them well, make sure that they're taught with understanding and application, make sure that children know how to read, because once you know how to read, then that is a very solid foundation for later learning, right? And focus on the mother tongue. ہم جو بچہ جو پنجابی گھر میں بولتا ہے, ہم ان کو اردو میں کیوں سکھاتے ہیں, اور اس ٹیچر سے سکھاتے ہیں جو خود اردو نہیں بول پاتی, right? اور پھر اوپر سے ہم انگلش, teach them as a second language, right? Teach them well as a second language, but teach them in a primary language in which they're comfortable with. They understand, they can relate to that language. When they take homework home, at least the parents can understand the concepts that they're. Secondly, we have to make sure that, our curriculum needs to focus on inculcating resilience. We've been hit by so many natural disasters, right? Economic disasters, flexibility, tolerance, appreciation for diversity. Where does that come into our curriculum? And then, adaptability. This is a world where, coding and robotics and, artificial intelligence, our children we can't even imagine what universities will look like in the next 10 to 15 years, right? But we may not be able to, provide the kind of education that our children need for that era, but we should be able to help them, equip them with a set of skills that enable them to adapt to challenges, to, emerging situations. And our teachers need to be able to do that, group work, critical thinking skills, lateral thinking, team building, accepting change. This is what needs to come in. And this we see in countries around the world, ہم وہی چیزیں پڑھا رہے ہیں اب جو ہم 1980s میں 1960s میں پڑھاتے تھے, but countries have really progressed, and that's what our public education system also needs to look at.
Thank you so much, Iza. On that note, that's a very important note, and I will be repeating it towards the end when I'll sort of close the program. But thank you so much, Iza. Be very grateful that you were able to make time for this.
A really great question. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you so much کہ آپ لوگوں نے جتنا بھی دیکھا ہمارا ایپیسوڈ, ہم تو چاہتے ہیں کہ آپ نے شروع سے لے کے آخر تک دیکھا ہو, لیکن جتنا بھی دیکھا آپ کا بہت شکریہ. اینڈ آئی ریئلی ہوپ کہ جو آج ہماری ایزا کے ساتھ گفتگو رہی ہے اس سے بہت حد تک آپ لوگوں کو اندازہ ہوا ہوگا کہ اس وقت جس بیرونی سپورٹ کا, جس انٹرنیشنل سپورٹ کی ہم پروگرام کے شروع میں بات کر رہے تھے, وہ کس حد تک اس کے ساتھ امید لگانا ریئلسٹک ہے. اور ورلڈ بینک سمیت اس وقت انٹرنیشنل ادارے پاکستان کے تعلیمی نظام کو خصوصاً کس طرح مدد فراہم کر رہے ہیں, لیکن اس کے ساتھ ساتھ ہماری حکومت کو, صوبائی حکومتوں کو بھی اور فیڈرل گورنمنٹ کو بھی وہ کون سے ایسے اقدامات کرنے کی ضرورت ہے, کس طرح سے سیلف سفیشینٹ ہونے کی ضرورت ہے, تاکہ ہم خدا نخواستہ ہر ایمرجنسی کے بعد بالکل اسکریچ سے نہ شروع کر رہے ہوں, بالکل اسکوائر ون پر نہ ہوں. Thank you so much again for joining today's conversation.